There are moments in anime that will be remembered for years upon years. And the latest Hero Academia episode, My Hero Academia, Boku no Hero Academia, Boku no Hero fucking greatness was what that episode was. Alright, so my apologies that I missed out on a couple episodes. Personally, the two most standout episodes of this season and the anime as a whole up until this point have been last week's episode with Uraraka versus Bakugo and this week's episode. But this week's episode is on a whole other plateau than last week's episode. If last week's episode was awesome, this week's episode was fucking dynamite to the second fucking power. Yes, that's how serious we are right now. Like, I feel as though this week's episode, the combat, the action pieces and everything is the shit you're gonna see for the next couple years in AMVs. When we're gonna bring back the old 2006 YouTube where you're gonna have the Linkin Park AMVs, and instead of having Naruto and Sasuke, you're gonna have Todoroki and DEKU, Midoriya. Oh my fucking god, if that wasn't a battle, if that wasn't emotion inside of a battle, I don't know what the fuck is. There's so many themes to this, so much greatness, and then the arts and animation. Oh my god, it was just fucking nasty. Just absolutely fucking nasty. Whoever did that animation, this man deserves a fucking award, okay? Because that shit was absolutely like, mwah, you need to fucking take the frames that this man animated, roll it up, and smoke that shit because it was that damn good. Todoroki and DEKU. Let's talk about Deku's struggles for a second, because part of Deku, and I love the fact that I wish they would more emphasize on this with the tournament as a whole, and you never know, they could, they can, I'm not going to spoil, whatever, but he is being a hero, even in the midst of a tournament, to become a hero. Because right in this battle, his mission, yeah, he wants to win, of course. And his mission is to showcase, yo, I am here. What All Might told him at the beginning of this shit. He said, bro, you need to make your presence known. You need to let the world know you're here. He's doing that. But on top of that, he knows what Todoroki's going through. He doesn't know exactly all the details, but he more or less knows that Todoroki is troubled. And he knows that he's trying to withhold everything that he has because he doesn't want to use that other half because of the conflict that he has with his father. So he's pushing him, and he's pushing the envelope further and further throughout the episode to make him realize, fuck your father. Who gives a shit? You don't need to worry about that stuff, man. That's your power. You need to do what you have to do for yourself. Don't worry about your father's bullshit and all of that. Don't let the problems of the past tear who you are down right now. So Deku automatically just absolutely amazing, and everything that he was doing. Dude really didn't get injured by Todoroki. If you think about it, majority of every injury he sustained was self-sustained. It was like he just kept on, bam, broke one finger, bam, broke another, bam, broke another, and then he's using the broken fingers, and bam. I was just like, my god, Midoriya, Deku, just like, oh, Izuku. It's fucking insane. Like, this is a awesome main character. These are the main characters that shonen manga in general need to push out more, where yeah, he does have a little bit of that timid nature to him. He's nowhere near the pussy that he was in the beginning of the series. That shit is kind of over. Yeah, he's still intimidated. Yeah, Bakugo, just kind of gets him a little scared once in a while, but he has evolved. And just this episode, if this episode didn't get you on board that Deku is a real one, I don't know what will, because he was just a monster in this episode, an absolute monster. But then Todoroki, my god, Toda fucking Roki, he kept going with the ice after ice. And then his backstory with his mom, and I would love to see exactly every fucking detail of what happened for her to pour the hot water on her little child's face like that. What went down? They need to show a full-on explanation. But Endeavor, like, yo, Endeavor definitely, and I made a list, I want to say 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago, about some of the worst fathers in all of anime. Endeavor needs to be up there, because not only did he fuck his son's mind up, and his son is the way he is right now because of him, but what he even did to his son's mom. He put that bitch in a mental institute. She's like, it was just kind of like, yeah, she injured you, so, I had to put that bitch in the hospital. And at first, when I read the dialogue, I'm a little bit like, you put her in the hospital, like, did you, like, beat her to death or something? Or did you, you know, put her in a mental institute? Because with Endeavor, you never know. And it just boggles my mind that Endeavor is the #2 hero, but he's actually a piece of fucking shit. When you think of heroes and you look at My Hero Academia, prime example is All Might. Selfless, a smile for everyone, just doing everything by the book, being 100% genuine. And you look at Endeavor and it's like, why are you a hero? Why? Like, what purpose do you serve on that side? You're a scumbag. You scarred your son for life. You fucked his mom's life up and shit like that. Like, Endeavor needs to be smacked the fuck up. I would love to see one time him go at it with All Might, and All Might just put him on his fucking ass, or anybody put that motherfucker on his ass, because he's a piece of shit. And this episode displayed just that. And seeing Todoroki throughout this episode develop and realize that he can't let his father's bullshit shackle him down was absolutely amazing. This episode, best episode of My Hero Academia thus far, period. Season 1 or 2, probably the best fight. No, not probably, because yeah, the All Might fight at the end of season 1 was cool, but this one topped it. The art and animation was legendary. We will see many AMVs for the next few years. I can almost guarantee that, because it was just that damn good. I'm giving this episode, I don't give a fuck. Call me a fanboy. Say I don't know what I'm talking about. Whatever. 10 out of 10. The direction, the art, the animation, and of course the storytelling that was, you know, originally done by the mangaka, just nailed it. Fucking nailed it. It's fucking classic is what we're gonna give the score for this one. Fuck a 10 out of 10. It's fucking classic is what this episode gets, because it was just that damn good. So many of the subtleties of this episode is what brought it to life as well, because yeah, it is a real big grandioso fight. They're going at it tooth and fucking nail. I mean, granted, you could argue maybe a little bit that for the most part DEKU was on the defense, but DEKU, if we're comparing it to something we've seen before or whatever, to give an idea of what I felt DEKU was trying to do, his motive was, yeah, he want to win. And at the end, he gave it everything he had once Todoroki got to that point of using both of his powers. But his first mission, above all, was to make Todoroki put everything he has. He didn't want to get a hollow victory. He didn't want just, yeah, I beat Todoroki, when Todoroki's not giving it his all. That's one of the keys in Deku's mind to being a hero. He has a set of principles, and that was insane. Just the movement, the fluidity. It was nice seeing as well the extents and the limits to everyone's quirks, because yes, Deku, you see the limits all the time. He breaks his bones, he fucks his body up when he's using it, but also seeing Todoroki's limits, that if he don't use that heat, his body can't take the temperature of constantly using the ice. So he was running very slow, and his body was starting to get all icicled out and shit like that. Like, just a fucking brilliant episode. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I honestly say, as though, as far as this weekend goes, My Hero Academia had, if not the best episode, then one of the best episodes of anime for this week. It just nailed it. It really did. And that's not even to short last week's episode as well, with Uraraka versus Bakugo, because that was an awesome episode too. But yet again, this episode was on a whole other level, just absolutely magnificent. And I can't stress it enough. Best episode of My Hero Academia. These are the episodes. It's like, if they throw it on Toonami at some given point, this is going to get more of a fan base for My Hero Academia. But just in general, if this didn't sell people to it, I don't know what really will. I mean, there's a couple other really amazing moments in the future and shit like that, but this was top of the line. Absolutely great. They need to bring this animator for more shit, because he did a phenomenal job. But of course, I gotta ask, what do you guys think about this episode? Is it best episode of My Hero Academia thus far? What do you think about the animation? What do you think about the storytelling? Because it's not only the action was incredible, but it's also the storytelling that you have in between everything that really drives home what this episode stands for. And I could do nothing but praise it. It's really that damn good. And what do you think about Deku and his fight and his struggles? Do you think Deku was dumb? I mean, yeah, Deku could have possibly won if Todoroki didn't use both of his sides. He had a really good chance, especially if he would have went all out completely, but he wasn't going to go all out unless his opponent was going all out. So you got to respect that as well. And your overall thoughts of the episode, 10 out of 10. Fucking classic is what this episode of My Hero Academia represented. And I'm so glad to say it, that My Hero Academia, I think as a whole, if Deku's mission was to say I'm here, I think My Hero Academia as a whole right now really came through and said, we're here. We're a Shonen powerhouse too. Hype shit. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.